Talmor, Shishin Magachi. Talmor is my home. My family have worked the land for generations. My gran says the island does not belong to us, but we belong to the island. And we must be ready, for a great evil is coming. And death follows with it.
Listen and subscribe to the latest season of Undertow, The Harrowing, a Storyglass production presented by Realm, available wherever you get your podcasts.
With your long-forgotten name, we call upon you.
We call upon you.
In the words of the unspeakable language, we call upon you.
We call upon you.
By the spilt blood of the wicked, who walk upon this world sprouting the words of false idols, we call upon you.
We call upon you.
On the land of the dead harvest, that which brings the earth itself into your service, Yamal, we call upon you.
We call upon you. We call upon you. We call upon you.
Yamal calls upon you.
The Sprouting, a Call of Cthulhu actual play podcast by Blighthouse Studio. Find us on your podcatcher of choice.
Hey everybody! Before we get started, just a couple quick announcements.
Oh my gosh. So we told you last episode that we were coming to Chicago and that you'd get all the details in the intro of this episode. So here we are with them. Sunday, July 12th at 4 p.m., we will be doing a live taping of Weight of the World, the penultimate episode of season 5 at a wonderful venue called Sleeping Village. Tickets go on sale today, Wednesday, March 4th at 10 a.m. Central Time for our patrons. Patrons, you will receive a code that you can use that will work there at 10 a.m. You'll get the code at 10 a.m. So stand by. You'll get that. You can snag a ticket. And if you are not a patron, don't you worry. Tickets will go on sale for you on Friday, March 6th. You can find information about the show on our website, bufferingthevampireslayer.com. Just click on events. You can also use the bit.ly link, bit.ly/BuffySV. That's a capital B, a capital S, and a capital V. bit.ly/BuffySV. I'll take you right to the ticketing link. I just want to let everyone know that we will be selling VIP tickets. You can do a meet and greet, a little sing-along with us. You get a screen-printed poster designed by Kate Leth. And those VIP tickets will not be limited. So if you want that, it is highly advised that you get in on the pre-sale because those can sell out. The general admission tickets will not be able to sell out. We'll make sure to hold some of those for the public in case they go quick. So we are so excited. Jenny, excited to go to Chicago?
Very excited! The Windy City!
Perhaps the wind will blow some of the weight of the world off of our shoulders.
That would be nice. But then if you have bare shoulders, you'll need to cover them up for that wind, you know? And
Wow.
a great way to do that is by visiting our online store where you can currently get 20% off everything in the store through Friday with the code COUNCILISTRASH. A lot of items like our hat and our mug and our final sale items, the Jeopardy tee, the 'Tis the Season crew neck, are running low, so snag them while they last. Patrons at the Slayer level and higher have a code for 30% off during the run of this sale. Heck yes.
That was an incredible transition. Just so you all know, Jenny made it up on her. She just did it live with the shoulders in the wind. It was really good, really proud.
I'm an adult. I got ideas.
Want to let you know that our very first Patreon book club book has been chosen. If you are a patron at the Watcher level or higher, you are part of our Slack book club. We're going to be reading a book together called Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. I'm not sure if I'm saying her name right, but I hope that I am. We're going to be discussing Acts 1 and 2 of the book on Saturday, March 14th in our special Slack book club channel. Just a little tidbit on this book. The cover quote reads, "Lesbian necromancers explore a haunted Gothic palace in space. Decadent nobles vie to serve the deathless emperor. Skeletons." So you see,
I can't.
I know. This is a very, very, very relevant to our interests book choice. If you want to be a part of our book club, just head on over to patreon.com/bufferingcast. You can join at the Watcher level or higher. We're going to have a very, very good time.
Well, speaking of having a good time, it's now time for the results of last episode's Sexual Tension Awards. These are the results for Triangle. Coming in fourth place, Surprising no one, but disappointing me, it's Xander, Riley, and that sexy little crescent wrench with 15% of the vote. Boo!
Listen, this vote is a good split. Everybody got a decent showing, I will say.
Yeah. Okay. All things considered, I'm proud of you all for putting your feelings about Riley to the side and letting love in. In third place, now this is a shocker. I can't believe this didn't land on top. In third place, we've got Buffy, the Nun, and the Wimple with 24% of the vote. And then getting into some very heated territory.
Yeah.
In second place, it's Giles and British Books with 30% of the vote. And if you're doing the math along with me here, you'll know that the winner took it only by 1% of the vote. It's Spike and Xander with, and I can't remember what this is a reference to, a peanut slap. Right. Xander's eating the peanuts and Xander, Spike's trying to get in there. They've got 31% of the vote, which makes them the winners of this week's Sexual Attention Award. Congratulations, everyone.
Yes,
everyone's a winner in the Sexual Attention Awards.
Congratulations. I'm so glad, Jenny, that I can put anything in parentheticals and you'll just read it even if you don't know what it means. You were like, okay,
I'm like Ron Burgundy over here.
Okay, moving from the peanut slap into a short story that I wrote when I was 11 years old, about to turn 12. We're going to head right into chapter 2 of this special podcast Duckin' Spooky News. Okay, if you missed Triangle, then you may have missed this, but I found a horror story that I wrote when I was 11 years old, and I'm reading it in a few segments over the course of these few episodes. So we left off with Tanya, a character in the story, about to begin the story of Old Man Seaver. The title of the story is The Death of Old Man Seaver. So listen, if you need the backstory, you got to go back to 2 weeks ago to our episode with Trixie Mattel and hear the beginning. Jenny, are you ready for installment 2?
I am ready.
Okay, in the voice of Tanya. Old Man Seaver was just a spooky old guy, or so we thought. He lived at the end of town where you live now. He lived with his wife and another old man of whom we thought might have been his cousin. Nobody paid much attention to them until Tanya stopped speaking and everyone glared at her and urged her to go on. As I was saying, no one paid him much attention until...
Utterly pointless pause. Go on.
I was 11. As I was saying, no one paid him much attention.
Getting paid by the word at 11 years old or something?
Ahem. As I was saying, no one paid him much attention until we heard the screams. My eyes were now about the size of tennis balls as I urged her to go on. They were not very loud or attention-grabbing at first, but then they got louder and louder and even louder until, wah! We all screamed and she started laughing. The tears were now rolling down her cheeks and she had clutched her stomach. Finally, she calmed down and continued on with the story. Anyway, the screams did get louder. In fact, they got so loud that someone had to call the police. The police investigated and they found out that every Friday night at midnight was when the screams took place. So on one Friday night at around 11:30 p.m., they knocked on the door. Mr. Seaver answered it and invited the police to come in. So they went in and had a nice chat with Mr. Seaver and his cousin. Because I should have put cousin in quotes. Because we're not sure who this other man is that lives in the house. The family said that they had never heard any screams at all. And then they changed the subject. And as you know, time did not stop. It was already 11:55 and they were still talking. At midnight on the dot, a faint scream was heard. It rose higher and higher until it reached a blood-curdling screech. The police were horrified as the scream rose even higher, but Mr. Seaver and his family acted as though nothing was happening. When the scream lowered into a faint moan, about 20 dead bodies fell from the top floor.
Oh my God!
Acting as policemen would, they rushed upstairs to see nothing at all. Even though they had seen nothing, they heard a faint tune of what sounded like an innocent little girl singing, row, row, row your boat. The words were completely different, though. She had been singing, kill, kill, kill the men who took my life away. merrily take their lives today. So
Wow. I really don't know what to think.
that's been your second installment of the short story titled The Death of Old Man Seaver. Tune in next episode to find out what happens.
Hey, for all of you prom goers and prom going aspirants, just want to let you know some very exciting updates. Brittany Ashley, Laura Zach, and your goddess and ours, Kate Leth, will all be in attendance at this year's prom, along with other special guests we have yet to announce. If you have been sleeping on getting your prom bids, now is the time. Head on over to bufferingthevampireslayer.com/prom for ticket links and details.
Beautiful. You sounded kind of like the movie phone guy.
I'm going
very,
for it.
very excited to have this whole crew. I also don't want to spoil too much, but I will say that Jenny has called for some choreographed dancing for some of her live music sets. So it should
TBD.
TBD. I'm sorry, but you can't even say the words choreographed dancing to me and not have it happen. So it's not TBD.
Right.
It will be happening.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Something that we didn't say, but that you may already know, is that we are about to roll into Checkpoint with the specialist of all special guests, Ira Madison III. And it's the third time that he's appeared on the podcast, which seems like some kind of special bingo.
Ira Madison III.
All right, Jenny, if you have no more to say, neither do I, and we can get on into this episode.
Let's do it. Hello, and welcome to Buffering the Vampire Slayer, a podcast where we're watching and discussing every episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer one at a time, spoiler-free. I'm Jenny Owen Youngs.
Oh, Jenny Owen Youngs.
That's right.
I am Kristin Russo, and this week we're talking about a very important episode. Season 5, Episode 12, Checkpoint. And we have, I think, the episode's biggest fan in the room with us. Hi, Ira.
Hi.
We Twitter connected on this.
Yes. And I'm back.
You are.
I'm
You
back.
were here. The last time you were with us, I think, was prom.
Yes, I skipped season 4.
Yeah.
Not intentionally. I don't hate season 4. I love it.
If you had to pick from season 4, do you have an episode that's like your pick?
I do. I mean, I feel like everyone's always like, Hush, you know.
Oh my God,
It is
right.
good.
Yeah.
Hush is in season 4.
Hush
That
is in
feels like
season 4.
1,000 years ago. Yeah.
Yes, but probably like I would pick something like This Year's Girl or Who Are You?
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Or like a Fear Itself. Like season 4 has some really good,
Nice.
some good stuff.
If you were in a boat with all 7 seasons of Buffy and the boat was taking on water and you had to get rid of one season.
7.
Without, so you know.
Without hesitation.
So prepared. So certain.
Did I stutter? 7.
The one I saved the most would probably shock you. I think it's changed so much since
Really?
I did your show first.
What is your
Yeah.
what season would you save the most?
6.
6.
6 is my
6
favorite
has
season.
so much going on.
Well, listen,
we can't talk about any of
Yeah.
it. but-
You both can have this discussion. Clearly, I cannot. I've only, season 6 and 7 are a mystery to me. I've only seen them once, and it was like
Oh, wow.
6 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It has slowly become my favorite season of the show. Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah, I think it's aged very well.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, you can
Yes.
be on. You can just do the whole season with us. Then.
You're not busy, right?
Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
have anything going on.
Well,
Actually,
this studio is close to my apartment now.
Trixie, who was on the last episode, said the same thing. She was like, I could basically walk here.
I think we found
Yeah.
the podcasting nexus of power.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, totally.
Yes.
Totally.
So also so many people that like that Trixie and like that just happen to live in this area weirdly.
Oh.
A lot of people live in this area who you'd be shocked about.
Apparently,
Just- yeah.
Trixie sees Juliet Landau at the gym all the time.
Yes.
yes.
I see Juliet Landau's at the gym. I was like Wilson Cruz.
Oh my God.
Goes to my gym. Melina Masukis, director of Queen and Slim, like is in this area too.
Wow.
We're not telling you the area because
Yeah.
It's none of your
stalkers.
business.
Mystery. You'll never
but-
know that gym.
Yes, but yeah.
Incredible. Well,
Yeah.
so
Andrew Rannells when he's in town here. Yeah. Yeah.
this is, I
A
mean,
journey.
we are in Los Angeles.
Yes.
So,
But this is a central area of
yeah.
LA.
I definitely never went to the gym with Juliet Landau when I lived here.
Nor I.
That's because we were up in the mountains of Altadena. So Ira, before we finish our intro, which we're
Sure,
just, you know, we're very comfortable with you, so we're
Casual.
going off script. But I said before we were on air, so to speak, that you could talk about all the things you do because there are so many. I mean, obviously, we
Too
know
much.
there's so much. Well, I mean, you're the judge of if it's too much. We want all of the
It
content.
is too much. I need a nap.
So tell us what you're working on.
Well, there's Keep It, obviously, the podcast. And I am now working on a new Netflix show called Q-Force. It's by my wonderful friend Gabe Liebman. He's producing it with Mike Schur and Sean Hayes, who's the voice.
Wow.
Animated gay spy show.
Fuck.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
When is it born into the world?
Next Pride.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so 2021.
Well
It's got to
timed.
be animated, written, but it's going to be great.
So
Hopefully a lot of really fun
exciting.
actors in it. And, you know, there's like, it's supposed to be a whole fun spectrum. So, you know, obviously Sean Hayes is like this white guy, but, you know, there's like a trans character, non-binary, like lesbians, like this. Everyone's in it.
And it's an animated show, but it's an animated show for adults, or it's
Netflix, yeah, for
it's
adults.
for adults.
Yeah, for adults.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's from the company that makes Big Mouth. So,
Amazing.
yeah.
Wow.
We're going for broke.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
2021 seems like it's a minute away, but really it's not. It's like
not.
we'll all
so
take
much to go through.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, actually, maybe 2021 is farther away than we think it is.
Too far.
So to finish our intro, Jenny, you can talk about who wrote this.
Checkpoint was written by Douglas Petrie and Jane Espenson and directed by Nick Mark.
Yeah, Nick Mark.
Your
There he
old
is
friend
again.
Nick Mark, and originally aired on January 23rd, 2001.
Whoa. What's today? We're taping this on January
20th?
Second.
22nd.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Time.
Wow. Wee-oo.
Okay.
You won't hear it for a while, but
Yeah,
just so
it's
you know.
almost 20 years to the day.
To the day.
Wow.
That's pretty fucking cool.
What timing?
Wow.
All right. So this is the one, in case you don't know, according to IMDb, where the Watchers Council, womp womp not included in the description on IMDb, travels to Sunnydale to review Buffy's skills as a slayer. Meanwhile, Glory puts her search for the key into high gear.
Mm-hmm.
I'm skipping ahead. I know we go sequential here, but something that I thought was funny about this storyline is that Glory is like, can you ask Ben where the Slayer lives? And I'm like, listen, Glory, like I feel
She just had a phone book like a couple episodes
exactly.
ago.
Like I just feel like you didn't have to task Ben and your minions with that.
This used to be one of my favorite seasons, and it's sort of revisiting it. I love the concept of Glory as this ditzy, you know, like Valley Girl-ish, whatever. But when you watch this season, when you get sort of towards like episode 19, 20, you're like, Glory, pick up the pace.
Yeah.
Ben, can you find out where the Slayer is? How, do your job.
Right. Just do something. She's like,
Everyone else every other demon and monster manages to find the Slayer at her home and attack her or in the streets randomly. And Glory can't.
Ask anyone in Sunnydale. They will
Yes.
tell you where Buffy Summers lives. They know.
Go find a vampire. Ask them. Laziness.
Seriously. You're a god. I can say it now.
It's been 12 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I mean, seriously, she went to
Well-
the magic box and bought some shit. Like,
Yes. I guess 7 episodes for her.
that's
'Cause she
true.
showed up in
That's
5.
true. Yeah, we
Yeah.
were talking actually in Triangle about the fact that Glory is such a memorable piece of season 5 that you think she's in more episodes. And then,
Mhm.
like, it's like, oh, there's actually a whole other thing happening in this season
Yeah.
where we don't see her as often. Anyway, I started us in the middle. We should start at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
You know when you're cleaning off your living room because it's such a mess and you like weren't expecting your friends to come over and then you find a huge bulky green military sweater. He's been gone for like weeks at this point.
Yeah.
And this is just like, what, behind a couch cushion or something?
I
And
know.
then Xander is like, oh, that must have belonged to Riley. You all remember Riley.
Because Into the Woods aired 2000, right?
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
it was the episode before the break.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I distinctly remember Triangle being, when it finally aired, it was after a long winter break of no Buffy episodes, and I think it was a longer break because I forget which date Into the Woods aired, but it felt like pretty sort of early in December-ish.
Yeah.
So this is to say, long-windedly, far too long for a sweater that you did not notice to just be sitting there.
Giant.
It's not
Yes.
like it blends in with like Joyce's like floral curtains and couches. Like it's thick, chunky. It has those shoulder pads. It's not.
But what's funny is that, like, from a writer's standpoint, you can weigh in on this. They have to have something left behind by Riley, and so what's hilarious is that like Riley has no other like indicative.
Right, it's like that
what-
or what, a gun?
What? Yeah, like a gun or a
Nothing.
sweater or a like. Right.
Other questions. We fully know Buffy. Is she still in school at this point?
She is. It's
'cause
just sort of come back into
she's
the.
She's still in school. Where's she living? Is she at home?
She's
at
moved back
home.
home. That's
Okay.
like that happens like early in
Okay.
season
She
5.
moves
Once
at-
Joyce
That's
gets
right.
sick.
Okay, yes.
Slash, she
yes,
finds out
gets
Dawn
sick.
is the
Okay.
key. She's like, I need to be home, close to
To
my mother,
protect the
close to my
key
sister.
and yeah.
I'm just thinking about Riley taking off his sweater in Joyce's living room. Inappropriate.
And
He
now
has
we
a
all
home.
are.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So they're there apart from us to realize that Buffy still kind of sort of misses Riley, but like does she?
She doesn't think about him the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
At all.
I don't think she really
She
I don't think
doesn't miss
cares
him.
too much. But they're all meeting so that Giles can be like, hey, by the way, what I found out is that the entire Watchers Council is going to roll up. Like, didn't give him an itinerary. He's like, they might be here tomorrow. They could be here today.
That's what
Not
they do.
sure. Yeah. Fucking creeps.
They're rude.
Oh, they're such creeps. Xander makes a good point. Can they just call us on the phone?
Yeah.
Fucking couldn't they?
No, there's the council is like the most dramatic entity in the
Yeah.
entire series.
Right.
If we're being honest, like, I mean, when Buffy pegs them later, you know, like they obviously want like the tea. I mean,
Jenny- Jenny love.
metaphorically, and also colloquially. They're living over in London, not even in London, you know, outside of London. You know, they all like jumped at the chance to hop on the plane on the Watchers Council budget to go to LA.
Yeah. Who's funding the Watchers Council?
Honestly, it's old money. It's definitely old money.
Big business.
Yeah.
Or is it like mystic money? Are they just
Yeah.
like creating gold?
God, that would make the fucking patriarchal bullshit of Buffy not getting paid even worse if they're just mystically making money and still not giving her
Yeah.
any. So yeah, Buffy's pissed. The council's on their way. Dawn is constantly eavesdropping. What's your opinion on Dawn, actually? We haven't seen you since there's been a Dawn.
We also haven't seen you since there's been a Riley. While we're
Yeah.
collecting opinions.
I kind of got the opinion on Riley. I feel like Ira lands on my side. Yeah. Trixie was hard on Jenny's side, and I'm glad to have you here. So,
Who is who? Right, who?
Thank you.
I like Dawn.
Yeah. Did you like Dawn when you watched the series the first time?
I did, actually.
That's
yeah,
good.
I
That's
did.
cool.
Yeah, I think I've always liked Dawn.
I like Dawn too, but I watched it as an adult person, and from what we've gathered, a lot of people didn't like Dawn as teenagers or younger people watching the show because she was kind of written to be.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay, so meanwhile, at Glory's house, she's feeding on a postman. She's very sweaty for Glory, and a question I have about this scene actually is why did they wait so? Like she's like, you don't have to cut it so close next time before you bring me my.
Yeah, what else do these minions
They're not
have
doing
They have
to
nothing
do?
to do.
They have literally one purpose.
And
Maybe they're just running out of. You know when you overfish an ocean and then you're just kind of out of fish.
But they just need humans.
But like maybe they've taken the minds of all of the sort of like people who naturally come in the zone of this like abandoned hotel that they're occupying.
I just feel like everyone in the Glory camp could do a little bit better of a job administratively. You know, like Glory can find the Slayer, the minions can bring her something to eat.
Yeah. Organization could be improved. Also, the guy who's playing this mailman that they bring to feed her, his name is Peter Hussman. I looked him up because he looked so familiar to me.
Oh.
I guess he just has a familiar to me face, but in his very short list of acting credits, I want you to know that he was in something titled Faith Happens.
Oh.
Which felt very relevant.
You know, you've been really pushing Faith on us these last few episodes.
I miss her.
I mean, like, I'm always here for it, but this,
Love her.
you know, yeah. So Giles is like in the magic box and he's talking to this like junior level witch in the shop. This nameless character who's a witch.
You can tell she's a witch by like her tiny dyed black like baby bangs.
Yeah, exactly. And then Quentin and what I wrote down in my notes, his army. Quentin and his army arrive. And like
Quentets.
Ooh, we will not be making an enamel pin for Quentets. But yeah, they're just assholes right from the jump.
Okay, they are assholes, but also the point that they raise about maybe Giles keeping dangerous stuff off the main floor of the shop could have prevented him selling Glory the ingredients that she needed to make the huge rubber snake a few episodes ago.
I mean, fine.
Just
Fair.
a thought. Just a thought.
Fair.
Safety first.
Also, one of them is very cute. The guy with the dark hair.
Oh, the guy that, not the guy that gets the sword thrown at it. Wait.
I think so.
The guy behind
Nigel, he has
guy
like a
behind the
double-breasted
Yes.
suit.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love the
and the lady with the glasses is very
Lydia.
severe. Yeah.
her name's Lydia, the Spike fangirl.
Yes.
Oh my God, I fucking love that scene so much. I cannot wait to get to it. But also there's another woman and I'm like, is she just Quentin's assistant? Because
she makes tea. She has no lines.
Right.
Yeah.
Assistant. Makes sense.
To which I again say they're paying for Quentin to have a fucking assistant. They're not paying the Slayer, and certainly none of them have assistants. Fighting this evil.
But they do pay watchers.
Yeah, they paid
when
Giles.
they talk about back pay.
Yeah, it's a bent system.
Yeah, I guess we should just put, I mean, there's so many places in this episode where we can put the patriarchy jingle, but we might as well just pop it in here at the top.
The patriarchy!
Great. So, I don't know. The council is like, we're going to shut down your fucking store.
Anya crushing it, blending in with all the people who have been humans their whole lives. Born to both a mother and a father.
Oh my God. when she's like, I was a child, which means I was like smaller and shorter than I am now. Very good, Anya.
A firm grasp on the basics.
I mean, my main note in this whole scene is what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck.
They're rude.
They're rude. They're awesome.
But always.
Yeah, and it's like, I guess I get.
We haven't seen him since Helpless, right?
Yeah. Jenny, what was that violent motion
it's
you
like
made?
Quentin is all like, well, we have this info on Glory, but we won't hand it over until we're convinced that you're prepared for it. And it's like, or what? Like, who else are you going to give it to?
That's my fucking question.
Yeah.
What is, I mean, I guess like that is.
Faith? Come on.
Right. Their plan is very shabby, which I mean, I guess is how the whole episode kind of comes to an end. But
what is the name of the book or methodology or whatever? The guy who like made a lot of money trying to get other guys to talk to women in such a way as to make them feel bad. Like the king of negging, the guy like who invented it. The game, the master, the something.
Something artist. Pickup artist.
Yes. The Watchers Council is basically the pickup artist. Like negging Buffy this whole episode.
Right.
Trying to get her to want their approval when actually, as we later find out, it's...
Yeah. And then, as if we didn't have enough patriarchal bullshit in this episode, we go to class, to your question of if she's back in school. She's kind of,
Yes.
college is like, it's like they just remembered that Buffy should maybe still be in school.
She like missed a lot of classes while Joyce was going through it.
Yeah.
And someone enjoyed, doing this Rasputin joke. That's the only reason this is.
Uh-huh. And who are these fucking... How is this professor getting those kind of laughs from college age students for this like C- at best material?
I agree.
Mhm.
Like speculation 101.
And maybe because college is bigger than high school, but I feel like when some of these kids on campus like sort of know that like
Buffy's a
Buffy's
vampire
like,
slayer.
yeah, or at least like saving them from random things on campus.
Right. Just like they
For the
knew in
past
high
2 years,
school.
yeah.
Yeah. They might not know that their former psych professor was like a mastermind running an initiative and building.
Yeah, what was ever the oversight from that? The professor Walsh just doing all this at the school.
Yeah. Building
What
a
the school ever
tinfoil
do
lab.
about it? Anyway, I wonder.
No, I'm just thinking about how many like below ground on college campus, like huge cavernous
Mm-hmm.
rooms they were working in, the initiative, and like how did they even do any of that without the school's knowledge?
Okay, so fucking Buffy has had enough. She goes to the fucking cemetery. She's wailing on this vamp.
And she can't even get what she needs.
And then Spike shows up.
Yeah, the men in this episode coming from every angle. The
Yeah.
professor, the council, Spike.
I am a Spike fan though.
Yeah,
I mean, look at him go.
Yeah, I was shipping Buffy Spike hard, like by this point.
Yeah, which is kind of what the. I mean,
Yeah,
that's. What they were-
out for a walk, bitch. Like he's stalking her. Yeah.
And that's essentially like what we have. We have like another version of out for a walk, bitch, in this scene where he's just like, he's in love with her. And the only way that he can seem to express it is by just saying the meanest shit he can think of.
Yeah, because he's a demon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
lest we forget.
It's not that far away from like the way a lot of people express stuff like this, like when they're in like, I don't know, 5th grade.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah.
Because also he was like a nerd.
Oh, he
full
was.
for love, like now he's just like angry at women.
Instead of writing his horrible poetry.
Was Spike an incel? You have to wonder. I'm just saying, was he Joker?
Nothing was going on for him with Cecily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He appeared to have absolutely no game while he was still living.
Then he became a vampire. Yeah. And then immediately got like Drew. And drove her crazy to get her.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He's the Joker.
Oh, shit.
Anyway.
It's getting dark quick.
Todd Phillips is Spike. I'd see that movie.
So whatever, Spike to Buffy. And then we go to this weird, whatever, we don't even need to talk about the scene where Jinx goes to the, is it Jinx that goes to the hospital?
That's Jinx. He goes to visit Ben at work. He's like, where does the Slayer live?
I'm glad you remember their names. I was just like, minions.
Yeah.
He talks to Ben.
The only thing that I like about that little scene is that Ben is like, don't touch me, you're crusty.
Yeah. What's weird is knowing back then in high school, I was like, oh, Ben's very cute. But now, like, I know his potential. Because he is so hot.
Like Charlie
now.
Weber.
Yes. So, like on How to Get Away with Murder, he's like hot, short haircut, tattoos, even more muscle. Like, it was all there.
Yeah. Did you know, when you were watching Buffy for the first time, did you know that you were attracted to Ben?
Yes.
So you were like fully aware.
Yeah.
You weren't like some of us looking at women and being like, I don't know what, I just feel like maybe I want to be your best friend.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the magic box we go.
Mm-hmm.
So Buffy like opens the fucking door, which I love the sound effect. This is so small and random, but I just love that every time the magic box door opens, that fucking
the bell. Yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
It is. It's like a nice little thing that has, I think, finally gotten into my brain.
And she thinks, oh, fuck. Perhaps if I just back out of this door very slowly, No one will notice I was
Yeah.
ever here.
It's a good Sarah Michelle Gellar acting moment.
Bad day. Bad.
Miss Summers. Good to see you again.
And then this is where the council is essentially like, we're going to send you through all these fucking tests. It's like a replay of Helpless, but worse.
Yeah.
They're going to make her do all these tests.
But you get your powers this time.
Right. Yeah. We won't like drug you.
And lock you in a house.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ. So what I was going to say earlier is like, I understand that they need like this knowledge that the council has, but I just feel like so much has been forgotten by almost everyone except for Buffy.
Mm-hmm.
Like even Giles, it's like, I just want him to be, I'm happy that what it gives us is that Buffy is the one who tells them to go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
But I'm just surprised, I think, that Giles and the rest of the crew, minus like Tara, are not a little bit more.
I think
She fired the council and everything.
Yeah.
But like Giles is horny for the books,
Mm-hmm.
and Dawn
Right.
is the thing. I think that it's the thing that changes everything. Like it's what makes Buffy and Giles like more desperate.
Yeah, that's
Of
true.
course.
That's true.
And it's not like they're finding anything out about this woman. Buffy's just like getting trounced over and over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Right. And to your point on desperation, it is Dawn, but it's also Giles, because then that's what they're saying in this scene. Like they essentially use Giles as the weapon against Buffy by saying
fucking dare they
that they're gonna deport him. And Giles is like, yeah, they can they're shitty at a bunch of stuff. They're not good at this, they're not good at that, but like this is one thing that their threats are not idle. They will.
But how about that like hot dad moment of like, she's not your bloody instrument?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
incredible. It's incredible to me the way that I know that they're assholes and I know that they are whatever, but it's just incredible to me that
They tried to kill Faith.
They tried to kill fucking Faith. And that they say, like, they say in the scene, the council fights evil and the Slayer is the instrument by which we fight. The council remains, the Slayers change. Like, they are so in ownership of how shitty they are.
Mm-hmm.
That they're not the kind of shitty people who are, like, pretending that they care. They're literally just like,
This is
yeah,
your
you're disposable.
And we're the institution.
And we're the institution, so you can suck it. Anyway, Jinx goes back to fucking Glory, and he's all bruised up.
Kendra would have passed the test. Anyway.
Kendra would have passed which test?
The Watchers Council test. They wouldn't have had to test her in the first place.
Right.
She was a councilwoman. That's why she died.
Oh, Kendra.
That's why she died. Oh,
Yeah, but she did. She followed all the rules.
Yeah.
She followed all the rules. Faith broke all the rules, and Buffy's in the middle.
Yeah. We don't have to get into that, though. I'm still angry about her death.
About Kendra's death.
Yes, because it was bad.
Yeah.
It was a badly staged death.
Mm-hmm.
Drew
the hypnotizing and it was very dumb.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Agree.
You're like, imagine.
She's a Slayer. Come on.
I don't want to talk about it. Yeah.
And then Drusilla never was able to do that to anyone else.
Yeah, never seen Drusilla hypnotize another living soul.
Yeah, that's a fucking solid point.
Yeah.
So we're at an important point in the episode because we see Glory's walk-in closet. It's just beautiful.
Okay.
And I thought it might be a good segue to
to
our fashion watch from Kate Leth.
Yes, of course.
It's time for our friend Kate to give you the Buffy fashion update.
Welcome back, everyone, to Buffy Fashion Watch, in an episode I might call the Tweed Invasion, although there is actually a lot less tweed than I would have hoped for. This is a pretty fun episode for fashion, but what it actually is a great episode for hair. Willow's got her curls happening, which is a thing that regularly occurs as her sort of short, choppy college cut is growing out throughout this season, and it is so cute. She's got her little collar in the first scene, her little choker, I guess. I shouldn't say that, but oops. And, you know, her outfits throughout the episode are actually really great. Willow's fashion is kind of coming into its own. Here, she is dressing a little less eccentrically, a little more boho, pagan, lesbian type girlfriend. And also Tara gets a really great hair moment in the opening scene, which almost inspired me to do my entire fashion watch about lip gloss, because everyone's lips are so shiny. But as it turns out, lip gloss is not actually that interesting. And, you know, as a person who used to professionally do makeup, I thought there would be more to it, but there's really not. So everyone's lips just look great. Giles is very much rocking his recently divorced dad look in the beginning with his kind of, would you say a weathered leather jacket? Anyway, he's doing all right. And controversial take for this one, strange every single time I say it, but Xander looks good in this episode. He's doing this little collared shirt under a crew neck sweater thing, which I have yet to see a person this looks bad on. It's probably just, you know, my thing for professors, but it's really cute and it's really working for him. Other than that, in this episode, I really do love the Watcher who is Spike's fangirl. Her outfit is not incredibly distinctive. There are not a lot of elements of note other than the glasses she gets to push up her nose when she's geeking out. But I love her, so I just wanted to say that I do. And then Buffy, who pretty much gets, you know, standard Buffy outfits throughout this episode, in sort of the very end gets what I can only describe as her Paddington Bear coat. It's not quite fuzzy, but it is, no, it's fuzzy, but it's dense. It looks very warm for California. But I love it, and I love every time she wears an enormously puffy or otherwise stuffed animal-esque coat. And her hoops, her signature hoops are really making an appearance in this episode, and I love it. So yeah, overall, I mean, this is a really great episode. It's one I've always enjoyed. Anytime Buffy faces off against the Watchers Council is a lot of fun. Anytime Buffy really owns her power, her strength is one that I really love. So, you know, not a huge one. Nobody's wearing tie-dye pants. Anya does wear a pretty small halter top, which I almost didn't want to comment on because I figured I'd sound like a creep, but here we are. Just a really solid episode, really solid outfits for everyone. I wish Xander wore that sweater and shirt for the entire show. I would be fine with that. And I do know that it shows up again, so good on him. Good on him. Until next time, I'll see you at the mall.
That was our friend Kate. She gave you the Buffy fashion update.
Thank you, Kate. Thank you, Kate. Now and always.
Thank you so much, Kate.
Love you, Kate.
Loved being there for that segment. It's great.
As a podcast network, our first priority has always been audio and the stories we're able to share with you. But we also sell merch, and organizing that was made both possible and easy with Shopify. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell and grow at every stage of your business, from the launch your online shop stage all the way to the did we just hit 1 million orders stage. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell everywhere. They have an all-in-one e-commerce platform and in-person POS system, so wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. With the internet's best converting checkout, 36% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms, Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers. Shopify has allowed us to share something tangible with the podcast community we've built here, selling our beanies, sweatshirts, and mugs to fans of our shows without taking up too much time from all the other work we do to bring you even more great content. And it's not just us. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the US. Shopify is also the global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, and Brooklinen, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. Because businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/REALM now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/realm.
Support for today's episode comes from OneSkin. And if you have sensitive skin, you're going to want to hear about their scientifically proven topical supplements. Free from over 1,500 chemicals and preservatives that can make skin red, irritated, or itchy, their products are safe for sensitive skin. It's just one of the reasons they've earned the Skin Safe seal of approval.
They've also earned the Jenny Owen Youngs and Kristin Russo seal of approval, if I do say so myself, Jenny.
I couldn't agree more. I've been using OneSkin for a few months, and after a few weeks, I remember it like it was yesterday. I texted Kristin and I was like, maybe she's born with it. I looked in the mirror that morning and was like, oh, things are happening, and I am happy.
I have used a million billion skin products, and I did not think that I was going to switch off of the skin like lotion, the moisturizer that I used and the under eye cream that I use, because I have used them for a little while and I really like them. And I've switched completely, which is a pretty big deal. OneSkin is the world's first skin longevity company. By focusing on the cellular aspects of aging, OneSkin keeps your skin looking and acting younger for longer. Get started today with 15% off using code BUFFERING at oneskin.co. That's 15% off at oneskin.co with code BUFFERING. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them, and if you can, please tell them that we sent you.
Love all this Ben talk from Glory about how he could seduce Buffy and bang the key out of her.
Ugh, bang the key
and
out
when,
of her.
And when Jigs is like, well, he is quite attractive, she's like, well, of course he's attractive, which seems interesting. I wonder what it could mean. I wonder where this could be going.
Okay,
because he's a man cast on a television show.
Well, they do seem to be connected.
And more interesting than Riley already.
I mean, everybody is.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You got your Trixie defense. I'm gonna jump on the Ira train.
I miss like Graham.
Graham. I was like, who's Graham? Right.
He was better than Riley.
Graham. Yeah.
He was in this season. And out of my
he
mind.
was just Graham came back in his black beret just a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
Riley got in the helicopter with him.
I actually disagree though. I think Graham is just as boring as Riley. I would.
Forrest was the interesting one.
Exactly.
Poor Forrest.
Poor Forrest.
Wow.
Yeah. But he did have, I mean, as much as poor Forrest, he did have the most interesting arc
of the three boys. He definitely had the most.
He got to be
like
a Frankenstein monster.
Yeah. What? This show killing interesting black characters?
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like Sunnydale at all.
Who knew?
Yeah, it's weird. This show is actually like kind of a standalone in that.
Yes.
It's just a very
isolated incident.
There's a different world where Kendra lived, Forrest lived, and they spun off.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, the other different world.
Yeah, the better Buffy and Riley.
Yeah, the better time.
Anyway.
But instead, here we are.
Here we are.
It's sort of like Giles and Glory give Buffy the seedlings of what she needs to get to the end of this episode. And this is the first conversation where like she's sitting with Giles and Giles is like, this is about power. Like he gives her that piece.
Yeah.
And then he cleans his glasses so hard that he pops a lens or something.
He breaks his glasses, which this doesn't, I know you don't care, Ira, but just a few episodes ago, I said, doesn't Giles ever break his glasses?
Yeah.
He's always battling with them.
He's always getting punched.
And I thought it was interesting that he never breaks them in battle, but here where he's fucking so stressed out by the council and their power.
I don't do that anymore. Yes. I've got LASIK since I've seen it.
Ooh, how do you feel? What is it like on the other side?
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm so scared of the lasers.
I love it.
Is there a snipping or like a
just laser?
It's just lasers.
What do you mean a snipping?
They used to do like a cigar cutter like in the early days
Stop
of LASIK.
it. Why are you saying these horrible
I'm
things?
sorry, because they're true.
A cigar cutter?
Something. They use tools.
Well, not a literal cigar cutter, but something similar to that to create.
Everyone listening is like kind of upset, but what you don't know is that both Ira and Jenny are making motions of the instruments.
That you'll never have to
I just had a laser in my eye. It was 30 seconds each eye. It was great.
And so now you're 2020.
Yeah.
2020 and 2020.
Yes.
Wow. Look at that.
Yes.
You didn't like my dad joke?
I mean,
wow.
That's what I'm
you're
here
going.
for.
No, you're going hard on the 2020 dad jokes.
Sorry, it's my role.
Speaking of dad, the glasses broke his glasses.
Speaking
Poor
of dad, Daddy broke his glasses, and and Buffy's also doubting herself. She's worried that like she has the physical stuff on lock, but that once they start looking into her decision making, they're going to be not so thrilled because she knows who she is, and
she's not the bookiest of the bunch. But the whole council, it's again like, what is their other option? They are all like sideline book people. They are all on the headset in the room.
Yeah.
They're like not the astronauts. They're like the people launching the shuttle.
Yeah.
What are they gonna do without her?
Oh, one thing I want to say before we move forward into Anya, Christina, Emanuela Jenkins and her answers is that the scene with Giles and Buffy ends with Buffy saying, they picked the perfect thing. I can't lose you.
Oh.
So, like, we'll just play Giles' jingle. It's fine.
Giles, hot dad. When you were younger, you were real bad. But now you're older, you've got glasses that help you watch over us. Thank you, Giles.
Cut to this like turtleneck motherfucker.
Is that the one you like? No.
Yes.
The turtleneck.
Oh, not the
like
white
the
one. The one who's
Nigel.
like foreign.
Nigel.
Their names are Turtleneck, Nigel, and Lydia.
Yes, Nigel is the cute one.
Nigel. Okay, so Turtleneck is questioning everybody. And Anya's doing a great job of making backstory for herself.
Yes.
She's born on the 4th of July.
Anya Christina Emanuela Jenkins, 20 years old. Born on the 4th of July. And don't think there weren't jokes about that my whole life, mister, because there were. Who's our little patriot, they'd say, when I was younger, and therefore smaller and shorter than I am now.
Where is she drawing this material from? Like, what is the source of this
American
context?
things.
Yeah. She's like, how can I be the most American I could possibly be? I will put my birthday on the 4th of July.
Right.
And then Willow and Tara's comedy line is, of course, that he asks them what their relationship is. He means to the Slayer.
Yes.
But they tell us.
Our relationship? We're friends. Good friends. Girlfriends, actually. Yes, we're girlfriends. We're in love. We're lovers. We're lesbian, gay type lovers.
Ooh, Ira. Should I drag Ira into the battleground of is Willow gay or is Willow bisexual? You might have some thoughts. Because we're in the new territory of Willow being like, I'm gay. And last episode, Triangle, she was like, there's no way I would ever threaten your relationship with Xander because
Hello,
gay.
Yes.
And so our listeners have been, talking about this for some time of like, what do you guys think? And so, I mean, I can tell you what we think, but.
Oh, she loved dogs, so she's bi.
Right? She's bi.
It's just, it was 2001.
Right. So
if
it's
you
like,
didn't know what bi was.
Yeah. Right. So that's what, yeah.
And she wouldn't have either.
Ira's on my team.
She wouldn't have either,
Right.
Until, unless she fell in love with a guy again.
Totally.
She wouldn't know.
Wow, actually, now that you say that, that's a really good point because that was my personal journey. Was that like basically I was like, I am a lesbian. I was also afraid that I would like meet a guy and have a crush on a guy because then
you would have to tell your mom
that I wasn't gay. Like there was not, and not that I didn't know what bisexual was, but it was not. Yeah. It wasn't as accessible. Yeah. And you were erased from both sides of communities. So. Wow. Anyway, I'm glad to know that you're on my team for Riley and that you're on my team for Willow.
Yes, of course.
Like that we would believe, like we would take Willow at her word, but Willow is not writing Willow's lines.
Yes.
So writer's room in 2001. Okay.
I like watching Xander tell Turtleneck about how he combined his essence with Buffy while they're discussing his special skills.
Yeah.
And Anya's like, I'm told it was all very professional, which like fair.
Nobody talked to any of them about how they should answer these questions.
Well, I don't think anybody.
Not at all.
Oh,
No
you mean
prep.
like the people interviewing them?
Well, no, like Giles and Buffy, like nobody
No
was
prep.
like, hey, maybe like do say this and don't say that.
Yeah.
They just kind of like let them loose.
Everybody just seems like they have no idea what's gonna go on, including Giles and Buffy.
Right. What level are you at?
Five, obviously.
It's a good move from Tara.
Yes.
I like it.
This was a question on a Buffy trivia I did
Ooh,
like
and
2 years ago.
you got
I got
it?
it right. I did get it right.
Okay, so then we go to Spike's, where we get one of my favorite scenes in the episode.
Yeah,
because
this is great.
it's so special.
Lydia?
Lydia.
Yes. Just enamored with Spike because obviously, he's a famous vampire.
Yeah, number one Spike fan.
Wrote her fucking thesis on him.
He killed 2 Slayers.
Yeah.
And he's still alive.
So Walker's Council is also a school.
Actually, interesting point.
People are writing theses. Watcher Academy.
Do you think that she just wrote it for fun? Like she didn't have
Probably.
to write a thesis, but
Probably,
she was just like
Wesley.
ooh, the
Female
books.
Wesley.
Yeah. So what I love too is that not only is she enamored with Spike, but Spike's like main drug is like having somebody enamored with him. So he's all turned on because she's turned on.
Yeah. And then he starts like going off about how like Buffy
we
pays
knew
him.
that from Restless. That he loves fans.
Oh yes,
black and
that's
white
the
photo
black and
shoot.
white photo shoot episode.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think a little James Marsters is in there. James Marsters is very good with fans in a similar way that Spike was. I think,
I feel like James Marsters is really incredible at like making you feel like special and heard when you're talking to him.
Totally. But he's also good at like changing poses all the time.
Yes.
So
so Spike starts going in on like, oh, Buffy pays me to help. Buffy will let me like drink from dying victims.
Yes.
Like,
which isn't even true.
Which is definitely not true. He's just like being a little shit, and then he's like, poor little twig can't keep a man.
He's rude.
So rude.
But that's what kind of inspires this woman to be like, wait, do you want her to cry on your shoulder?
Yeah, is that what you want? I would think you'd want to kill her.
It would have been funny if the council had been back at any point when, well, they sort of were when they tried to get Faith. When the initiative was there, because I'd imagine them trying to questioning Riley. And the government would probably be like, no.
Oh yeah, and
yeah, that would be like a brick wall.
That would be some patriarchy on patriarchy right there.
Yes.
So Buffy doesn't know how to speak Japanese. She doesn't understand what's going on in the next scene. They want her to protect the dummy.
Yeah, but also, like, do any of the other Slayers know how to do that? Did Kendra?
Kendra probably
If
did.
anybody did, it was
True.
Kendra.
Kendra definitely read all of the books,
Yes.
including the manual that nobody ever saw.
Yeah.
But like everything that the council is about interrogation wise just like reinforces the idea that like their priorities are bureaucratic and nonsensical and don't actually serve like winning and protecting.
Well, yeah, and Giles gives us that line where like Quentin is like, "What did you how did you even train her? What did you train her in?" And he's like, "I trained her to win." Like she doesn't need to know how to say bow in Japanese to fucking save the world. Like I understand, that there are these other things happening, but like this is not what is the most important thing.
Period.
I just looked at my note. My last note in this scene is in all caps. What a cunt, Quentin. I got real mad.
He's always been one.
Yeah, he's
yeah.
a little shit.
But she kills the dummy.
Yes.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. I got to do this my way. Buffy, you never just do it your way.
Do it her way. Yeah. She which is not like. I mean, this is not very customary of Buffy to fucking. She's never killed.
We've never seen her kill somebody she was trying to protect. Right?
Ever.
Yes.
Okay, so Buffy goes home. Buffy's having a rough one.
Who's there?
Buffy goes home. She calls for her mom. She turns the corner into the living room, and for a second, because she's wearing like a dress, like a nice dress, and she has like big curls, just like Joyce. Glory like almost kind of registers as Joyce, just for like a fraction of a second.
That's
then
a fan fiction second for you.
Whoa.
I'm sorry.
Not for me, but sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
me either. But I'm
Okay.
into where you're going.
If you agree with me and you think that like they have just like some on paper similar attributes and like maybe like the first millisecond your eyes are registering like that hair in that room, you think Joyce, please write into Kristin at buffering the vampire slayer at gmail.com to back me up. Thank you.
And if you agree with me, don't write in the
We'll take all of the emails we don't get as agreeing with me and Ira.
What the fuck?
Yes.
I mean, mostly the thing that really makes you know that it's not Joyce is that back on that dress. Joyce is not wearing a back like that.
Yes, only with Giles.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So Glory is there, and this is my favorite scene in the episode.
Great.
It's great. Glory feels like a real villain here. There's tension. Love this scene. Love when Dawn comes in. Love when love when Dawn uses her brattiness to get out of the situation.
Yeah.
See, I like Dawn. She's smart.
So that's interesting, actually.
I read that as like Dawn being like, oh, well, I've been eavesdropping and nobody will tell me what's going on. So when she hears Glory say like, or when she hears Buffy say, oh, she doesn't know anything, Dawn is like, I know, it's like mad about it.
Right.
Like, trying
I think
to like
there's like a slight, I mean, I've watched this episode so many times.
There's
like a slight hesitation before Dawn does that. And I'm very positive it's Dawn realizing the situation is dangerous and getting out of it.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And Dawn,
honestly, how does Dawn not realize that the situation is dangerous before that while she's slowly walking into the room, looking at this woman brandish a fireplace poker?
I think that she does, and she like
she wants to help?
I think she wants to help.
She just had an incredible run hitting the Queller demon
Let's
with
not talk about
the coat rack
demon,
a couple
but
episodes ago.
Fuck the Queller demon. How do you feel about the Queller demon, Ira?
That CGI? Anyway. Just running across anyway.
The ceiling.
Suctioning. It's truly one of the worst episodes ever.
So, yeah, I mean, this is an incredible scene. And it's really, I mean, this is like the Glory episode. The episode where we learn that she's not a demon, she's God. And it's the episode where, like, we've seen Glory fight Buffy. But like you said, we haven't seen her villain it up like she is villain it up.
Yeah, this was a very good scene.
Yeah, she's got like the Buffy tries to get the fire poker, and she's just one step ahead of Buffy the whole time.
And then Joyce comes in all confused. Is that a friend of yours?
She had beautiful hair.
Joyce?
I thought it was me.
Joyce's bandanas. Joyce is doing great. I mentioned it in Triangle, but we had only seen like one bandana. But in this episode, she has two more fancy bandanas.
Yeah, Cancer Danas.
Cancer Danas, yeah. So
and Buffy's like, pack a bag.
Yeah. Well,
and
because
we're like, where's Joyce gonna go? New Mexico, to see her sister in New York, somewhere very far away from here. No, why don't we keep her in town in a crypt with a vampire who can only defend her against non-human entities? So if any human gets involved in Glory's camp, they'll be fucked.
There are no humans in Glory's camp.
Well,
right?
we meet some humans that want to kill Dawn later this episode.
Oh, right, right. The Knights of
Byzantium.
We really learned nothing about the Knights of Byzantium, by the way, which I love their appearance in this episode, but my other knock against season 5 is they like plop in as an afterthought.
Yeah.
Like,
and here's this other thing.
Who thought about these people at all?
Right.
And what they were supposed to be doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Guess
this
human.
Knight that she fights at the end refers to himself as a man.
Yes.
And all of them as
Which
men.
is why.
Which is not
I guess
necessarily...
human, but I would think like imbued with something. Like how else do they become the Knights?
Yeah.
It's just very...
How do they get those head tattoos?
Yeah. It's just very...
Yeah.
The Knights suck. I think they're useless.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I will, though, stand firmly in their chainmail camp. I do think I like it. I want to touch it. I love touching chainmail. Okay. So, one thing that we didn't say, which I know everybody's watched the fucking episode, whatever you might know, but the reason that she's bringing Joyce and Dawn to Spike, which fair, all of your
No, but
Swiss
also it
cheese.
is like the best thing she could probably do.
Sure, whatever. But Glory has said, this is your one shot to tell me where the fucking key is, and if you don't, I'll kill your mom, I'll kill your sister, I'll kill your fucking friends. And we take her very seriously. It is there's no question that
you can't take me.
Yeah. It seems like you'll be in favor of one of our sexual attention award nominees later. Yeah, so the great part about Joyce being back at Spike's or being at Spike's is that we get more Joyce at Spike, which is one of my favorite pairings in the whole fucking show.
Love to see Joyce and Spike. Love that they almost immediately find some common ground about watching Passions.
Oh, it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
And
Buffy wanders the streets.
Yeah, we haven't had a
looking like the fucking IKEA monkey.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the
In
coat.
that coat.
Kate gave a nice nod to that coat for good reason. I actually kind of like it.
I like the coat, but it's a very Buffy coat, right?
Yeah.
That and then the black skull cap. Yeah, I like this look for her. This episode.
I do too. It's very early aughts too.
Yeah.
Like this, it's a legitimate. Like this is a coat I would have definitely wanted to wear in the early 2000s. But yeah, she's wandering. We haven't really seen her have a good Sunnydale alley walk in quite some time, so it was nice to see. But of course, as happens in any alley in Sunnydale,
Knights of Byzantium.
Knights of fucking
useless knight. She fucks him.
This is very like becoming this sword. Like it just was like it really reminded me of that sword that
It's
she.
probably from the prop.
It's probably
the same sword.
Probably the
Oh,
same
yeah.
sword.
Anybody ever stop to think about like how much medieval weaponry? Like nobody in this whole universe wants to like upgrade to something more modern.
Well, I think we have a lot of traditionalists on our hands here.
Okay.
And the demons are very
the vampires, the council.
They like to stay with what always worked. And you know,
no guns. We don't like that.
No, I don't want
Exactly,
guns.
yeah.
I just want like,
robots?
No, not that far. Just like every weapon that they use looks like it was invented in like, the first half of the millennium.
So there's modern swords. You mean?
You want a retractable sword?
No, I don't know what I want. I just.
Well, can you workshop this?
Oh,
Switchblades.
switchblades. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, remember Faith's knife?
Faith should have had a fucking switchblade.
Remember Faith's knife?
Yeah.
Though modern.
Yeah.
Ish.
But I'm sorry, I'm going to be lost in thought for the rest of the episode about Faith with switchblades. Are you a Nightmare on Elm Street person?
Love it. Yeah.
Because do you remember Nightmare on Elm Street?
Dream Warriors.
The best one? Yes.
Yeah.
Where
the punk girl.
Yes.
Yeah, of course I did.
Great. That's who I was picturing. I'm glad that we could all share in that moment together.
Yeah, she got killed with heroin.
Yes, with heroin. Oh,
heroin.
and
when
her
Freddy's fingers became needles,
yes.
jammed into her. Yeah.
Ooh, it was rough.
Great.
But she was great.
Great death.
She said she had a line that was like, "Feels so good to be bad," or like something like that. She was great.
Good kill, Freddy.
Yeah. Patricia Arquette, not that character, but
yeah.
Anyway, that's
Patty.
where I fell in love with Patty, who was in that movie. So yeah, we talked about the Knights of fucking Byzantium. Is there much to say except for that Buffy does not kill the knight, and that is kind of like the beginning of this question of like, if she doesn't kill him because she thinks he's human, I assume.
Yeah, he runs off.
And he runs off.
No.
Yeah. Okay, so this is kind of the biggest. Well, it's not your favorite scene because we've already passed your favorite scene, but it is a massive.
We like Buffy's speech
finale.
Yeah, we like her.
When was the last time we had a good Buffy speech?
This is an iconic Buffy speech.
This is when they could still write Buffy speeches. Spoiler alert.
Sorry. But yeah, this is power. I have it. They don't.
See, I've had a lot of people talking at me the last few days. Everyone just lining up to tell me how unimportant I am. And I finally figured out why. Power. I have it. They don't. This bothers them.
Yes.
It's very incredible. Actually, if it's all right with the room, I think that we could go to the Sexual Tension Awards now, because I think this is pretty sexy and pretty tense.
Oh. Hit it.
Okay.
Sexual Tension Award. First of all, enough sexual tension, perhaps, that you could. Maybe you wouldn't want to cut it with a knife, but you might want to have two of your sidekicks aim a crossbow at it while you're doing the thing. And I'm taking the long way, all the way around.
I know the nominees, and I still don't even know which one you're
to
doing.
Spike's crypt, where Lydia's totally into it.
Yes.
Oh, that. Okay.
Sorry.
I was like, what are we talking about?
And four score.
Spike, and I believe I referred to her as Watcher Fangirl.
Sure.
I know she has a name,
AKA
Lydia.
Lydia.
Love that.
Yes. Next up, we have Glory and Buffy, who
very sexy scene.
Yeah.
Woo! You know you can't take me, but perhaps you'd like to try. The subtext screams.
Glory and Buffy in the living room with a fire poker.
Yes.
That is my That is my answer. Final answer. And then this scene that we are about to dive into has the other two nominees in it.
Aha.
One is Xander and the smashing of the patriarchy. A nominee that we would have never seen coming back in season 2.
Can you spell this out for me?
Why I've nominated?
Oh, just because Xander is really enthusiastic about what Buffy is on about?
Xander's sitting up in the fucking rafters.
Yeah, he's cheering her on.
He is so hot for these dudes just getting the knife twisted in them, you know?
He's hot for Buffy.
Yeah, or that.
Yeah.
And the final nominee.
I don't think it's that noble.
Oh,
he's been having such a good friend arc lately.
Whatever. I prefer Xander double.
You and Anya both.
Real one should have died. Anyway, maybe he did.
Ooh.
Twist.
A
Anyway.
nice theory. The fourth nominee, I think, is the one that you knew that I was going to go for, is Buffy in Power.
Yeah.
Because that is the sexiest shit that I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Ira, did we leave anything out? Did you have anything that we didn't bring to the table?
No.
All right. So then at Buffer and Cast on Twitter, you can vote in the Sexual Tension Awards.
It's Buffy in Power.
It's Buffy in Power. They're
Janelle
gonna...
Monáe said everything is sex. You know, it's sex, which is power.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's actually, I think, the second or third time that lyric has been quoted within the context of Buffering the Vampire Slayer. Okay, so vote. So go vote in many ways.
Yeah. She's also talking about Power, the TV show on Stars. Buffy watches it. Anyway.
Okay, so this scene. Buffy's late because there was a fucking attack. Nobody cares. And Glory has given her the other piece of the information that she needs to have figured this the fuck out. She throws a knife.
She does.
It hits the wall.
A sword.
Yes. By your boyfriend.
Yes, because she's like, no interruptions. And then he's like, and she throws it. It's like, I'm fairly certain I said no interruption.
Yeah.
Hell yes!
Which is so hot, and which also leads to a hilarious moment with Lydia, where Lydia's like, I don't want to get a sword thrown at me.
Yeah.
But these are and like Lydia also makes a good. I kind of like Lydia.
Lydia should be the head
boy
of the Watchers
has
Council.
clocked more field time than all of you combined. That's the only reason Xander's turned her on. He gets a compliment.
Oh, true. Touche.
Yes,
Touche.
yes. But she is right.
They are children.
Yeah.
They're children. I mean, I guess we're bordering children now, but they have been fighting since they were literally children with no skill set.
Well, this is witchcraft. Xander's been fighting with them since teenager, and he never took a karate class.
Like, come
on.
Like,
He should be training in the gym with
They
Faith
should
and
all
Buffy.
be training. I don't know if you've read the Boom comics, but they train in and it was one of my favorite parts of the whole fucking new telling is I'm like, this is what we would do. This makes sense.
Xander should know how to fight.
Xander should. Xander neglected to tell everybody that he still has his like soldier training somewhere in his brain that activates sometimes. But yeah, he
told Cordelia that time though. Hey.
That time. Oh, you mean that time?
Yes.
But yeah, so Quentin accepts this, you know, like this is a little like, you don't think you see this much in this dynamic. Usually you would see this like powerful white man not be able to.
She grabs him by the council.
Yeah, she does. She really does. And he's like, get me a scotch. You're right. Like I accept your terms.
Yes. Get me a scotch. And Giles goes to get it. And Buffy's like, no. Tell us what you came here for.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, Buffy's not a demon. She's a god. Well, T. Anyway.
Yeah. So this means a lot of things. It's like the Watchers Council, as much as we fucking hate them, they are reinstated in a sense in this episode, but they are reinstated as subservient to Buffy. She has flipped it.
I'd like to know how they got the information that Glory's a god. Like, where'd they dig it up?
They had the right book, I guess. You know, they're hoarding.
From the Library of Alexandria.
A bunch of old white men hoarding over the knowledge of all the things in their library.
Who are the other gods? Anyway.
Ooh.
What a great question.
Yeah. Neil Gaiman wrote a whole book about it.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll find out. You won't.
They'll fill in
Spoiler
all
alert.
those blanks.
But this is. Do you think this is the best episode of the season, or you think this is the best episode of the series?
It's just my favorite episode.
Your favorite episode. Yeah. And so, like, what
There's
is
better
it?
episodes.
What makes it your favorite? Because that's a big. I mean, you are a Buffy person.
The power speech, Glory finally being villainous. I like Dawn in it. I think it's funny. I like the Giles and her interactions. Yeah, it just feels very much you watch it and you feel good after it.
Yeah.
It's sexy too.
Yeah.
It's very sexy.
Yeah, it's got something for everyone.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I mean, it's just one of my favorites. I think 2 episodes later is even better than this episode. Crush is better.
Oh, Crush! I thought don't talk.
Blood Test is better too. Blood Test is a very good episode.
Yeah, it's a good season.
Yeah, it's a very good season.
It's a good season that we are just slowly sliding down the back half of. I don't know how we got here, but this will take us in new directions. And by the time we see you again, Ira, so much will have happened, I'm sure.
Let's celebrate that.
But thank you for being a part of our episode.
Thank you for having me.
And literally anytime.
Yes.
You are welcome on any episode, anytime you'd like. We love having you.
Yeah.
I also love there's a crew of people who guest that do not use notes of any kind. And you and Kate Leth are the leaders of that crew.
Yeah.
And not only do you not use notes, but you know everything backwards and forwards in a way that I don't even think after doing this whole entire podcast I will ever know. You really hold the knowledge in a powerful way. Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, I know you told us at the top some of your work, but you want to tell people about your amazing Twitter handle that always makes me jealous.
Ira. Find me there. Find me now.
Yes. I think most of you listening already do follow Ira and know about all of the things that he does, but they are incredible. So if you haven't already checked them out, do it.
Well, I'm Jenny Owen Youngs. And when I'm not watching Buffy, I am writing and recording songs. You can check those out at jennyowenyoungs.com. You can give me a shout on Twitter at Jenny Owen Youngs. And you could also hear me talk more on my other podcast, Veronica Mars Investigations.
I am Kristin Russo, and you can find out what I do in my spare time by going to my website, KristinNoeline.com. That's KristinNoeline. What's so funny, Jenny?
High-res photos while you're knitting.
God, I wish. I should learn to knit. But you can find out, work I do with the LGBTQ community. And if I take up knitting, I promise to post photos. You can use that handle to also follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. I have a couple of cats. They're real cute. So if you're into that sort of thing, hit me up over there. And we are Buffering the Vampire Slayer. Where do we find us?
Well, we're on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at BufferingCast. You can email Kristin at bufferingthevampireslayer@gmail.com. Send her all your complaints. You can leave us a voicemail at area code 216. That's Cleveland, baby. 30BUFFY.
You're welcome. I got a great phone number for us. Okay. You ready to howl?
shall-
Are you ready to howl with us?
Sure.
Your third howl with us?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Perhaps.
Yeah. We had the Gwendolyn Post howl, the prom howl, and now the fuck you council howl.
Yes.
Okay, fuck you to the council. Till next time.
Woo!
Wonderful.
Hell yeah.
Put me through the ringer, run me through your tests. Another stupid gauntlet won't make a difference. You say you know what's coming, I'm hoping that's the truth. But there's something you're forgetting. You need me way more than I need you. Hey, mister, wait a minute. I don't think you thought about it while you're trying to act like the boss of me. Hey, I don't wanna argue all about who's got the power, fellas. I am not your commodity. Ooh, ooh, ooh. ivory tower, making all your best laid plans. You move slayers like they're checkers, never get blood on your hands. Why you wanna test my patience and get on my last nerve? It's almost like your pride is more important than the safety of the chosen girl. Hey, mister, wait a minute, I don't think you thought about it. Why you trying to act like the boss of me? Hey, I don't wanna argue all about who's got the power. I think that we both know it's gotta be me. Wait, this is serious. Look in the mirror, 'cause you and me, we're on the same team. But when you come after me like I'm your property, oh, you keep making me wanna scream. Hey, mister, wait a minute, I don't think you thought about it. Why you tryna act like the boss of me? Hey, I don't wanna argue all about who's got the power, fellas. I am not your commodity.
Welcome to the small town of Chinook, where faith runs deep and secrets run deeper. In this new thriller, religion and crime collide when a gruesome murder rocks the isolated Montana community. Everyone is quick to point their fingers at a drug-addicted teenager, but local deputy Ruth Vogel isn't convinced. She suspects connections to a powerful religious group. Enter federal agent V.B. Lauro, who has been investigating a local church for possible criminal activity. The pair form an unlikely partnership to catch the killer, unearthing secrets that leave Ruth torn between her duty to the law, her religious convictions, and her very own family. But something more sinister than murder is afoot, and someone is watching Ruth. Chinook, starring Kelly Marie Tran and Sanaa Lathan. Listen to Chinook wherever you get your podcasts.
Contained herein are the heresies of Radolf Buntwine, erstwhile monk turned traveling medical investigator. Join me as I study the secrets of the divine plagues and uncover the blasphemous truth that ours is not a loving God, and we are not its favored children. The heresies of Radolf Buntwine, wherever podcasts are available.